definition along the way. Personally, I'm more of a dancing on the ceiling kind of fan. It also seems that last battle affected my vocal program.
The priest turns away.
Shall I fetch one of the ship's personnel?
No! No. I'm fine. I just don't want to be alone. All my other robo-buddies are twisted metal because of this hell on Earth, literally. Feeling like the last artificial man on Earth here.
Frank adjusts his mouthpiece to help fix his audio problem. The priest hesitates, then moves closer to him.
Of course, my son. What you're about to do must have tremendous weight on your...
Frank interrupts.
Soul? Do you suppose I even have one after all this? Feels like I'm on autopilot at this point. My luck, I survived this. I'll probably be put to work as a cafeteria bot or construction zone drone. You don't cheer for someone. Something that pretends to be.
The priest interrupts.
A hero?
Human. People only knew the truth, they might not be so willing to back what I am.
You are.
A fool.
An intercom alarm beeps, followed by a soldier's voice in the cargo hold.
We're approaching the drop position in T-minus 6 minutes, Alpha 5. Be advised, the 4th General has just appeared at the location. Over.
The intercom beeps again.
Is that what they're calling them now? Generals? I guess evil hellspawn was a bit much.
The ship shakes from turbulence. The priest grips his Bible.
Don't fear, Father. There'll be a tomorrow.
Funny that I am the one that needs comfort. It was not so long ago that I was diagnosed with an illness, and I thought that would be my end. But he decided I have no purpose.
I had someone who was going through something similar once. She loved her video games. They looked at even as hope. Every time we get towards the end of one, she'd say, "Final round." Boy, should I get a kick out of this?
The plane shakes again, more violently than before. The intercom alarm beeps again.
We have incoming projectiles coming from the target area. Taking evasive maneuvers, strap in.
The priest ties himself down with some cargo netting and braces himself.
Hey, Father, you think God's watching?
The priest hesitates then smiles.
He's...
Before the priest can finish his words, the plane blows up from a projectile. Frank sits helplessly as he watches the flame engulf the cargo hold and the priest in an instant. Exterior, dropship, mid-air, mountainside, day. Frank separates himself in mid-air from the free-falling wreckage and curls into a shape of a sphere, racing towards the earth and eventually crashing, rolling down the side of a mountain. Small thrusters extend from both sides, slowing his roll. Frank unwinds and stands tall. He scans the horizon and notices a small figure a half a mile away, standing in front of what seems like an endless stretching wall of fire. Frank pulls out the golden katana from his shoulder and advances. Title: 15 minutes remain. Exterior: wall of fire, day. He stops 100 feet away from a little girl, Gabby, who is dressed as an 80s British punk rocker child with a guitar strapped on her back and the Roman numeral 4 burned into her forehead.
Turn back if you know what's good for you.
Sorry, couldn't hear you. Probably because of the lack of ears, so here I come.
Frank walks toward Gabby without hesitation.
For sudden's sake, Robo Jackson, for a world of pain.
Frank stops a few feet from her.
Are you, General?
Gabby laughs.
General? What? Because of this?
Points to her forehead.
Does that make me a 4-star? Nah, I'm just an accumulated dark faith of bleeding apocalypse. But you can call me Gabby. I'm just a lackey, you could say. You're looking for him, Tin Man?
From the wall of flames steps out the general, aka the 44th horse of the apocalypse, towering well over 20 feet and features of the darkest demon's nightmares. His eye glows and his ferocious mouth opens, shooting a blast of hellfire at Frank, nearly missing Gabby. Frank deflects the attack by swinging his katana and robotic wrist 360 degrees, a propeller shield.
I'll let your mates discuss.
Gabby floats up and away into the air as the general lunges at Frank, who blocks him. The two then engage in a fierce battle as Gabby continues to battle while floating around the spike.
I bet heaven and hell felt that one all right. It's interesting that humans put their faith in a machine after their existence has been overtaken by so many of you. You got no feelings, no dog in this fight. Why bother?
Frank continues to fight the general, but still responds to Gabby.
See, that's where you're wrong, Buttercup. This is my fight, and I made a promise.
Frank punches the general, sending him into his distance, and turns to Gabby.
My name's Frank. I used to be a man. I sacrificed myself, my body, for my family.
Frank, distracted, gets jabbed by the general.
Interesting. You flesh bags actually made the leap. Not that it matters this late in the game.
Frank gets pounded on as Gabby rambles.
Matter of fact, now that you've told me who you are,
Gabby's eyes glow and she looks into the past.
I can see your entire life cycle, Frank.
Frank's life's montage. Gabby witnesses the life of Frank, being born, going to school, getting married, and having a child.
Cassie.
And montage. The name Cassie rings in his head, sending him into a blind rage mid-fight as Gabby flutters away.
You don't get to say that name.
Cassie got cancer. Boo-hoo. And your human government said they had a cure for Cassie if you went through their experimental procedure.
The general gets the advantage in the fight.
Shut up.
But Cassie died before they could lift a finger. Classic. All that wasted prayer and hoping. What do you have waiting back at home now? A nice warm port to plug yourself into?
Gabby laughs, pushing Frank over the top. His eye turns red and faint whistling sound.
I said, quiet.
The whistling sound culminates with Frank knocking the general's head off. Gabby stopped laughing. Title: 5 minutes remain. The general's bodies fall to the ground. Frank turns towards Gabby and starts walking towards her, unaware that the general's head is still floating in the air.
I think it's time we found your parents, little one.
You don't quite understand the gravity of your sitch. Tell me, what you willing to do to accomplish your task?
The general's head reattaches to his body, making him walk whole.
Seems to me you have a soft spot for us rugrats.
Frank gets angrier as he gets closer, still unaware of the general, and he materializes the flaming sword of his own and then splits it into two swords.
Look, let's cut the chit-chat. I'm pretty sure you're not a little girl. So if you think I won't get rough with you, you got another thing coming.
The general advances from behind. Frank walks up to Gabby and stops and raises his katana. She suddenly changes her demeanor and personality.
Please don't hurt me, mister.
Frank lowers his blade. Gabby smiles as the general lunges at Frank from behind in slow motion. He simply moves out of the way as Lionel Richie's Easy Little Sunday Morning continues echoing. The result shows the general has slashed through Gabby with his two swords. Her pieces fall to the ground, dripping in black goo. The song ends as the general bursts into flames and evaporates into the air. Gabby liquefies as into black goo. The planet rumbles. Title: 0 minutes remain. The wall of flame fans higher.
Now what?
A large shadow emerges from the fire, the devil himself. His horsemen haven't failed him. The king of hell has come to claim the earth. Frank grabs his sword with both hands and looks at the devil.
Final round.
Frank and the devil charge at each other. The end. That's